I really can't say enough about this song. I don't even know where to start on this. I remember vividly, very vividly, one the summer of '87, late summer of '87, watching this video on Night Tracks, and it made such an impression. I will say this: anyone, particularly the older people, well, I guess those who grew up in the 50s or whatever, who think that, or even younger, who think that 80s music was synthetic, it was all machines that lacked emotion, they need to listen to this record. You cannot stereotype popular music, although people do it all the time. And even though LL Cool J on this record, I Need Love, although he doesn't emote on the scale of, say, Aretha Franklin or Percy Sledge, when Percy Sledge did When a Man Loves a Woman or Warm and Tender Love, the heart is still there, the sincerity is still there, the power is still there, the poetry. But still, here's the thing. When I'm thinking about LL Cool J, and when I researched this song a little bit, I was thinking about the Rolling Stones back in the 60s. The Rolling Stones, particularly in 65, 66, and 67, just bear with me. I know where I'm going with this. 65, 66, 67, Rolling Stones had one hit after another. They were known as more of a hardcore band, a band with more of an attitude, a band with more controversy, or a band with more edge, even more than the Beatles. The bad boys, as compared to the Beatles, the good boys. It was just all perception, basically. But, you know, perception can be, perception, there's a thin line between perception and reality. What I'm trying to say is the Rolling Stones had come out with these rock and roll records, and Mick Jagger, the lead singer, he would sneer through records like Get Off My Cloud and Mother's a Little Helper, and yet they would do these beautiful ballads, these introspective records like Ruby Tuesday and the medieval poetic rhapsody of Lady Jane. So it is with LL Cool J 20 years later. He can come out with all these hard rap records, particularly off his first CD, which came out in 1985, which was called Radio. He was 17 when he came out with that CD. Hardcore, very aggressive rapper. And not only that, he was intimidating looking as well. Intimidating, muscular. This guy had street creed. He took hip-hop. He really bamboozled his way into the hip-hop world in 1985 when he came out with Radio. And then the album that came after that, I'm Bad, that was a fun record. That was one of my favorite rap records. And Night Tracks played the hell out of that rap record, boy. They did. I loved it. It was not played on the pop stations, but yet he showed that badass. But even in that song, there were periods where he might not have been taking himself so seriously. That part about Cool Jam cookies, you know, that was just whimsical. And the video, he's saving a damsel, one of those damsel in distress situations. It was a brilliant video, a brilliant record, a hardcore record, and his hardcore fans say, yeah, LL Cool J, he got it going on. And then boom, he comes out with I Need Love, and everybody's taking, whoa, wait a minute, what the heck is this? This, for a guy, an alpha, we're talking major alpha male. He showed considerable vulnerability. It's one thing for, say, somebody like Smokey Robinson or Lionel Richie or say Luther Vandross to come out with a slow jam and expose their vulnerability, lay their heart on the line. But for somebody who is as aggressive, as bombastic, as muscular, as LL Cool J, one of the ultimate alpha males, to expose vulnerability like that, well, that opened a pathway right there for other, especially male singers, to open their hearts out too. Other rappers later down the road, like Jay-Z and then Drake. combining hip-hop with the R&B slow jams. Indeed, he was influenced by the Delphonics. Didn't I blow your mind? Yes, and the Shy Lights. He reached into that R&B slow, the old school R&B slow jam thing. LL Cool J, from what he said, from what I've gathered, he wrote the song in his grandmother's basement. He was reflecting back on some of his past girlfriends, how he more or less used them or just broke up with them or just, just played them and just discarded them. And he was reflecting on his loneliness. Now, granted, there's no doubt about his reputation. My goodness. I'm sure he was rolling as far as the opposite sex was concerned. No doubt about that. But obviously, in this particular record, he had a moment, one of those moments of introspection. He was capable of that. He has gone beyond just the physical plane of love. He is going into the spiritual and the romantic aspects, as opposed to just a physical love, a companionship kind of love. Saying that, okay, next time around, I'm going to do better. I'm bad about LL Cool J, one of his best. The thing about LL Cool J was he could be astonishingly commercial. I Need Love, that went top 20 for him. I didn't get the chart position of the song, but if I remember correctly, it went up to something like 17. The song did get him into the top 40, and he came out in 1988 going back to Cali. I don't think so. Just got that great hook in that song, and then I'm that type of guy. Now, he retained some of that street creed in that song. He retained some of that, I'm trying to think of the word, that boisterous personality that infuses a lot of rap records. He retained that, but still there was a sense of fun of that record, a sense of confidence, a sense that this guy was on top of the world in 1989. But a lot of his hardcore fans, a lot of the rap hardcore fans, some of them became disenchanted that he was departing too far from the inner city roots, the ethos of rap and hip hop, by going commercial. And I'm that type of guy. I didn't get the chart position on that either, but I believe it went top 10 or top 20 on Billboard's Hot 100. But that's the thing about LL Cool J. Like the Rolling Stones did in the 60s, LL Cool J could play it hard, he could play it fast, he could play it stiff, and yet he could be easygoing and come out with these ballads like I Need Love, and also Around the Way Girl, and later on, Hey Lover in 1995, and came out with, I think, Doing It in 1996. These mid-tempo or faster jams that he did. The Booming System, going a little bit hardcore, a little bit with the Booming System. When he played Harlem, not everything went his way. When he played Harlem, played the Apollo at Harlem, 1989, 1990. One show that he did there, he was booed off stage. And then he came back with a fury, with Mama Said Knock You Out. He was ferocious on that record, and then came out with Around the Way Girl. And you see all these sides, these facets to LL Cool J's personality, his musical persona, his hip-hop persona. Well, anyway, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and as far as I'm concerned, he deserved it, along with Jay-Z, and this was in 2001. That was back in 2001. And this album, by the way, this particular track was produced by Bobby Irwin, E-R-V-I-N-G, also known as DJ Bobcat. Dwayne Simon was on this record, and Daryl Pierce. These three guys, they were in a production team called L.A. Posse, and they were brought to LL Cool J's attention by his record label, which was Def Jam Records. As a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, he gave a shout out to Def Jam Records, and I'm bad. It's still this brilliant rap record. Oh my goodness. He was 18 years old when he wrote this record, I Need Love. And there's just no doubt of the sincerity of this record. I was just trying to see if there's anything. Wrote the song in a half hour. Wrote in a half hour. Enough said. Boy, what a gem. What a memory, too. Summer of 1987. LL Cool J on my fancy playlist, August 29th, 1987. He's coming in at number 12, up 2 from 14. LL Cool J. Something we all need. Love. Take care.